Mate.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Chesh Breaks. We got something a little bit different because we actually have Shane from Talking Cardboard podcast who is remoting into our stream, which is why it looks different to my usual setup. It actually looks
What, we're not in Chesh's house anymore?
better. It fucking looks better than my stream. I'm being outside on my own stream.
No, my full setup.
You know, I'm okay with this though.
Advertising in there. I didn't have any other stuff.
Always advertise. What are you talking about? Always, always. If you ever go on somebody's shit and they get up you for like advertising on their shit, it's like, well, why the fuck did you invite me on? Like, a rising tide floats all corpses, as I said to Blakey this morning.
You usually say boats, but now corpses. That's
I
cool.
say corpses. It's so much better because, you know, like, not everyone has a boat, but everyone can die.
That's true. Oh, when you put it that way, double analogy, man.
So, of course, you can hear Sam. Sam, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty swell. Just had a pizza, had some beer. It's pretty awesome Friday night.
Damn. We had chicken tenders, eggs, and hash browns because we were having a
How are you not asleep?
cheat night.
Which comes first though, the chicken or the eggs?
Well, the chicken crimpy comes later.
Oh, are you a chicken crimpy shapes man?
I never used to be. I fucking hated the taste of fake chicken. I hated it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Except on chicken-
Like, wow.
The artificial
Except-
chicken taste is pretty
Except chicken salt.
Yes.
Because
No,
that's not
I
a...
hate
like
chicken
chicken,
salt.
but it's
Chicken salt's not chicken. We
It's the
associate it
worst thing.
with...
When you get fish and chips and someone's put chicken salt on it, it's the worst thing.
ooh, yeah,
It's
you
an
double-
absolute deal breaker for me.
double meat
No.
types, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, you weirdos. No.
And then
Delicious.
just grab a scallop as well.
Mm,
Oh.
that
Is
MSG.
that a potato
Mm.
cake or a real scallop? I don't know, depending on where you are in Australia.
Well,
You
look.
just have to find out.
A scallop comes from the ocean. A scallop potato is something that you put in a dish.
That's,
And a
but the
potato
Australian
cake
way is to admit
doesn't
like a
exist.
word. Oh,
So-
well, okay. A
Well,
potato cake
look,
doesn't
it's
exist.
not a fucking cake. You don't bake it like a
Well,
cake,
yeah, you're right. That's a
right?
bad word.
You do not bake it like a cake. It is not a cake. It is closest to a scalloped potato. It is
But
also
Australians
not
can't say two
a
words to
scallop
specify
potato.
anything. We can't say the full definition of
I like
anything. So we
potato
just say.
I'm a foodie, right? I'm a foodie.
And you're a Queenslander.
Well, I'm a Tasmanian, thank you, that grew up in New South
Is it
Wales and
Parma
then
or
Queensland.
Palmy for you?
Well, look, if anyone ever says palmy around
You're
me,
a Palmy guy, aren't you?
hell no. Do I look like I'm 20?
Good answer. Good answer.
Ugh,
Palmer.
no, it's a Palmer.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, it's Palmer.
It's a
But
Palmer.
when people say Palmy, it's super.
If you say it's a chicken parmesan, it's a chicken parma. If you say a chicken parmesan, you're an idiot.
You're a fool.
Lessons in linguistics. From
I prefer Parmageddon as per the pub in Balaclava that calls it that. It's great.
Still can't believe there's a place called Balaclava. I just want to go and rob it.
Good place, but yeah, play basketball there actually. But yeah.
So,
What about do you have schooners or pints, Chesh?
neither, because I don't care about beer.
Yeah, but you can have a cider and a pint or a schooner.
Why would I bother? I just ask them for whatever's bigger. Give me your biggest
Who's been
glass
to the
of cider.
pub? And who's been to the pub in a long time?
Yeah, I was gonna say I
It's a
don't
bit
actually know what I sort of. I thought yeah.
I don't do
forgot
pubs.
what
Agree with that
year
answer,
it was.
but-
Yeah, I don't do pubs. It's a chicken olive parma. There we go. Olive or Clive? Clive Palmer? Yeah, sorry. Look, I'm blind, alright? That C
I was
looks like an O.
olive.
Fuck you.
Olive or Clive?
I'm legally blind. I will misinterpret where I can.
They're both round, so there you go.
Except one's gross and one's not. So,
That's a solid basketball content. This is awesome.
speaking of, so Shane has 2 blaster boxes of Chronicles.
Indeed.
We are going to let him crack those in a sec while we talk over it. But
Yeah, you can backseat for this one for the first time.
I know, it's so good. I can keep an eye on, hopefully, this.
You've opened some Chronicles, haven't you? I haven't.
I
really
have.
opened a lot of
I have.
them. I've taken a bit of a back seat to. I haven't
much
done a
of
lot of basketball in the last sort of couple of months. I've been sort of
Well,
pretty
look,
deep in
this
the football hole. So.
this should be the funnest product for you to open.
Yeah, that's.
now,
I agree. I think
In
that's
saying
fine.
that, the hits are few and far between, technically speaking, but it's full of rookies and not full of vets. Okay, so the vets that you usually will get are pretty good. The updates for Prism, the Kendrick Nunn especially, is actually worth some decent quid. You can get parallels, pink parallels. I think there's like jade parallels to 99 or something like that.
Got a few pink ones in there. I got 3 boxes, and I opened one earlier on. I cheated a little bit. I couldn't help myself. I had to open one. I got a couple of pink ones. They all, they look nice. There's a couple of, like you say, like I think it's just a really sort of open. Like there's a couple of Jar, a couple of Zion. I got a LeBron.
And the autos look pretty good as well. So like it is a fun product to open. Keen on any Zion or LeBron, Wayne says. Adam says, you're a madman. Defo potato cakes. It doesn't matter what the parma is called as long as it's served on top of chips. Yeah, you're right, because it makes the chips wet, but you're definitely wrong. It is not a potato cake. It doesn't even look like a cake.
Definitely wrong.
Adam, if it was layer upon layer, stacked like a cake, and then baked in an oven, it's a fucking cake. This is deep fried. It's not a cake. Stop it. No one needs this fight.
If you were to insert candles in it, would that make it more cake-like?
No. No.
What qualifies?
Even if you can try and make it romantic and have some candles out, it's still not a fucking cake.
Yeah. I
think a potato cake's as close as a carrot cake, though, because carrot's not really a cake either, and if you can have carrot...
I said Wade, not Wayne.
Let's open some Chronicles. I want to see what's in there.
Yeah.
So
what if you stack them on top of each other? Fuck off, Adam.
Talk through some of these ones. Let you pick which one.
Go with the right, because it's one on the side.
Right.
Yeah. Now, so one of the things I want to bring up is how this product ruined almost everyone, because this product is so much fun that when you went from this to Illusions, you definitely felt there was an illusion in how the product was set out, because Illusions is so rookie light, and not plain, but because there's so much variety in Chronicles, because it is a chronicle of sets. That's what made the big difference between the two releases. So Chronicles at the moment is coming down a bit in price. I think you can generally get blasters on Facebook for about 150 as compared to Court Kings, which is superior at like, 270 basically.
Crazy.
But the massive thing is that Illusions was really scarce when it came into the country. Everybody and their dog bought so much of it trying to bring it into the country. Now, it was a Walmart exclusive for the retail.
But that's the thing, they made it weird, like, because Illusions in football is actually it's not a high-end product, but you get an encased card, plus you then have your pack, and it's a sort of mid-level. I mean, I think it's due to come out later on next month or mid-next month, and I think Cherry have just put it up at $600 a pre-order box. And I mean, it's a reasonable sort of quality product for football. Like $600 for a football box is, a pretty big price. Like it's not huge, but it's sort of, it's a nice product with football. So that's why it's a bit weird. I was sort of weirded out that they went for the sort of cheap knockoff version for basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is, like, so with Chronicles, you have a variance in what you get. Like almost the entire pack feels like you're getting nothing but inserts because of the variance in the different product. But the problem with Illusions is because you have so many vets, it's like a 200 card base set with like 50 rookies and 150 fucking vets. And because it all looks the same in the base cards, that's what makes it like visually boring. It doesn't stand out. And you just kind of look at it and go, why am I opening this trash? And then after you open a blaster box, you feel regret because, as you're about to see, you get nothing as good as one of these boosters.
Can't be regret. We've got Anthony Davis already.
Yeah, exactly. The brow.
From Playbook. It's another football series. They've taken
you got my boy Nicola in purple.
Oh, that is terrible.
Can I just give him
I'm a Clippers fan. I want to give him a big punch.
Look at him.
He was outstanding.
And also, like, see how much he'd slimmed down by Game 7? He's like, he's just lost a bit of pudge on his arms. Like, he's just having fun.
He's got the what was the guy? I think he's on the project. He was a fat comedian that lost people weight, and he had that
Peter Hellier?
Yeah, he's got the Peter Hellier look about him. No.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Terrible. No, good on him. We shouldn't be joking about that.
Hey, can you do me a favor, Shane? With your webcam software, can you just have a quick look at the settings and turn off the autofocus?
Is that back in the other window?
I gotta say though, Chesh, the quality's looking sharp AF.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm liking this. I'm thinking that Shane probably is on NBN. Just get
External
Shane to do
lighting
it.
is the key. I'm having trouble finding. I think it's now that. Oh wait, here we go. It had found an update, so it was just in. Where have we-
Let me bring up my software. I'll tell you exactly where it is. Give me 1 sec.
Autofocus. There we go.
Nah,
Let's
Sam,
talk
you
about
don't
those
get
Wolves
the chat,
jerseys
mate.
for a while, but I reckon they're gold.
I'll get you the chat link in a minute, Sam.
Yeah, no, frames being dropped.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I just had like a little blue screen of death.
My frames are
Here we go.
dropping a little bit.
I think it should be all good now.
No,
It's
mate,
just
I'm
while
on
we're
like.
playing with it's while we're playing with the settings there.
Your stream is experiencing minor issues. Yes, it is.
Jackson.
Because I'm trying to run too much stuff at once. Right, like that.
I did not know again.
Thank
They just made an update one. They're still nice as well. But not a super.
Hang on, guys. Give me a sec.
What your first pack was insane, wasn't it, Chesh?
Give me a sec. Did you find the
yours
setting?
is like-
Because my system's now slowing down because I opened my webcam software.
No, no.
So it'll be under source 1, and autofocus should be like right underneath
No, I
where it
found
says
it.
reset.
It's looking good now, anyway. Yeah.
Well, mine's not because my system's like chucking a hizzy. I shouldn't have played
Jackson
PUBG before.
Hayes. It's kicking you out.
There's Giannis.
Love that Yanni.
That's actually a good picture, yeah.
It's such a good one. And it's a lefty, too, which is unusual. Double Jackson pack. Pretty cool in the flux.
Pretty.
Andre Drummond, the centre no one wanted because he's an old school player. but-
Actually fielded a really odd question on Instagram today. I don't know if we're talking about reactive and sort of anticipatory investments and sort of markets and how they move. And someone said, "What are your thoughts on Andre Drummond cards increasing value?" And I was like, "Is he taking a piss? Like, I don't know if he's trolling me here. If this is
Yeah,
a
you
real
know what you mean to it.
yeah, I've been thinking about my answer for about 12 hours now. Like, I don't know what to say.
I think he's just a relic of a bygone era. Like I still think he can do cool things, but like people want a jump shot these days. So.
Yeah,
Try that, Sam.
Yeah, shoot.
So I found out what the issue was when I opened the restream to try and get the chat link for Sam. It tanked the stream because when the restream opens, it opens a full copy of your stream as it's
Yeah,
streaming
that's-
live to show
That's
you.
why I don't like touching Twitch when I'm doing this. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
like,
well that's why next time, Sam.
So we're all good now.
Yeah,
aren't
now it's back to perfect.
we? Yeah, cool.
Right, so it's
Kendrick's
Nunn,
back.
Man, still not the right one.
Bit of Jordan McLaughlin love.
Are they anything different, like the purple?
Yeah, so they're the parallels. That's actually pink. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's pink.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Williams. Ajay Barrett. And Kirby White. They're nice. I like these ones.
Yeah, the essentials are really pretty. It actually
Really
almost made me
shiny.
tempted to go and buy a blaster of them, but blasters just became too expensive of even the essentials, and you didn't really get anything guaranteed in them. And I was just like, oh well, I'm not going to do that then.
Eric.
Kevin Porter Jr., he's exciting to watch.
Oh yeah. Seattle-based dude. Always look at Seattle players. Matisse. Oh, double Matisse pack?
Double
Yeah.
Matisse, yeah. Can we make it triple Matisse? We can't.
Oh,
No.
Yanni's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Pretty cool.
Very pink.
So where's Yanni going next year, I reckon, guys?
He's got to be
Uh,
sick, doesn't he? Maybe, I don't know.
He's been loyal. But
let's go
yeah.
Bulls.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It won't happen, but
No, it won't happen, but you know.
Yeah, just throw one out there.
That
That's
is
another-
one that got so much unnecessary hype.
Yeah.
What's that?
He got so much unnecessary hype.
Oh, Seiko, yeah, because he had a few
one page,
games.
the next Giannis, people would say, and the next minute.
Next minute he's like,
That
yeah.
was pretty hefty.
So there you can see that's another parallel because of the
Down the bottom there, yeah.
King of Flash. Got old
the
Ross
beard.
Harden.
Chris Middleton,
Hashtag getting hard with Harden.
Yep, exactly.
and then another wrong Pelican.
The wrong Pelican.
The first box that I opened was literally every third card would be a LeBron, Ja, or a Giannis. So this one's been a little bit of a
Ooh,
Yeah,
I saw the back
The
card.
first one was like first pack was Luca and
That-
Luka and
the-
Zion.
I don't know. The back of this pack is looking pretty sweet.
Okay.
Nah.
I say
Unless it was the wrong the wrong
yeah, it
Grizzly.
is.
Ah,
Kendrick Nunn.
fuck it.
None.
Bol Crusade.
Oh,
Oh, no one's calling about Bol anymore because he's playing the playoffs, but that's fine.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Brandon Clark's kind of cool.
Mm,
PJ.
wrong
I got
one.
a, don't know if I have it with me in here. In the first pack, I got one of the pink ones of Zion of this, so it was a pink one.
Oh,
Looked really nice.
yeah, that is nice. Get you a couple of bucks for it as well.
Well, I think my goal with most of these is just any of the key players. I think I'm just going to send it off to grade and forget about it for 6 months at PSA.
Yeah,
If they
pretty
come
much.
back a nice grade,
That's a
you know, they
LeBron.
won't sell for a heap, but I think, you know, any of the players that do well, could be some sort of value. Hunter
Rui.
probably hasn't got as much attention as he's deserved as well.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah. I mean, cards and stuff, people are still after him, but yeah.
I mean, yes and no,
he's a
but,
slow
like,
burn, though, for sure.
his-
Like,
his
he's not-
price- prices
Yeah,
are
he's gonna
like-
take a little bit to sort of grow into himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's disciplined and he's kind of he's super yeah, he's just kind of he's not in any rush. You're just gonna subtly keep working his game kind of thing.
Good thing, you haven't really seen him pushing himself out there, like, you know.
No,
really,
I think
I
he's
don't think
got
I've
more
even
in
seen an
tank.
interview with him. Like, he's
Yeah.
very quiet.
But it's the type of thing, he's already an ambassador for Japan, and it's like
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of
true.
thing. He's already like
There's a market
got
for
that
him.
business kind of mind as well. Like he's going to be careful about what he
It's
says.
my boy.
You know,
It's your man.
just refined. Carson. I think it's a double Carson pack.
Yeah. None.
Kendrick, man. Oh, Carson. Back.
There it is.
You got that one, Chesh?
I've got the non-parallel.
We've lost him. He's got that excited. You want this one?
I mean, I'm always going to say I want Carson.
Yeah, send it over.
Chesh has turned into Johnny Five.
Yeah. Too much Carson. The Carson double packs just sent him over the edge. Like, he's got too excited.
Whoa.
It's broke his internet.
Morphed into the digital realm.
It's just Optus being shit, to be honest.
Well, that one was a little bit sort of, yeah, a little bit underwhelming. We got no Zion, no Jar, no LeBron. We had one AD.
Yeah. Put on your Optus.
Typical Optus. Well, there we go. At least we
Yeah.
got a LeBron on the back.
Typical fucking Optus.
This is going to be best.
Bowman, he's here. CQ high pile. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's alright.
Take that one.
That,
Tatum.
Employee
Boy,
of
the
the
month.
month.
And the green too, was it? Was that a parallel?
No.
Yeah, it's a
Was it?
green.
Oh, do you want to bring it up?
They're not numbered.
Oh. Hang on a second. I don't know what's happened. Hello?
What happened?
I don't know. His camera just
Yeah, we can hear you.
okay. Like your camera just went down for me for some reason.
Yeah, mine's fine.
But I could hear Sam.
Yeah. And LBJ and that one too? Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
packed.
But Sam, who disconnected? Was it me that disconnected? Because that's hashtag
I don't
fucking
Yeah, I think you
Optus.
do.
Yeah, but I'm an Optus too. But I'm in the country.
Yeah,
so
you're in the country.
go figure.
And I'm having to use my mobile as a fucking tether because
I was
the
gonna say the country often gets more advanced like technology for some reason. So we just got Titanic in the
Oh,
city.
it's funny. I got them to investigate my internet connection. They were like, "We didn't find any fault," and it's like, I can't stream from my internet. There's clearly a problem, and they were like, "No."
Yeah.
It's like, "Fuck you guys."
Romeo.
Romeo.
There's a jar.
Jar.
There we
Hey,
go.
Jar
Finally
with the
get one.
headband too. That's a yeah. What's he doing?
Surely the headband's got to be more iconic than the
Oh.
Luminous dunk.
Apparently, the Discord has dropped out. 1 second.
That's why it's so sharp. Johnny 5.
Wrong one. No, this one. There we go.
Sorted.
Yep. Hey, Clovis. Hey, Jim. Thank you very much for the follows. And Justin. Jeez.
Wade, I assume you mean the other LBJ as well.
There we go. Wade wants all LBJs.
All the
He hunts for
LBJs.
LBJs.
Yeah. We
Jeez.
back up now.
Shane Panther is now following.
Jordan Poole. Looks like he's jumping over our Alex Caruso.
Mhm.
They look like some seriously short shorts. He did have some pretty ridiculously short shorts, though, didn't he, Jordan?
Oh, he was that guy, wasn't he? Yeah, he
Yeah,
loves the
he
short
is that
shorts.
short guy.
Loves the little like the beach kind of board shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah.
heck?
Yeah.
All these followers are now just like coming up, including myself. What are you talking about? The light box must be broken.
I forgot he was a rookie too. Weird.
You forgot him.
Oh, he's the type of guy I picked up on 2K and he was badass. I'm like, oh, I forgot he's
Have
actually.
you played much of the new 2K?
No, but I think this one I've kind of like, well, more than ever because there's no new rookies or whatever, and it's like
So weird.
it basically just said it's just a VC fest, so you just all that artificial currency.
What is
So,
going on with my alert box? Can anyone else see what's going on?
No,
It was
I
just
see
Bunch
Adam
of
said we're back
people
up.
following, and it's like, no, all these people are already following. I'm going to turn off my alert box.
That's a good thing though. We get followers.
No, they're already people that we're already following. They're following from Facebook. For some reason, Facebook is now flooding
just
me,
hard refresh.
and
PG.
that's what disconnected
PG?
me. So
Purple?
it was Facebook being a piece of shit.
Even as a salty Clippers supporter, I did see one of the best memes going around today. It was talking about if Paul George was the guy that shot Tupac would still be alive today.
Oh god, I saw that. Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, everyone's giving him crap for that clanger off the side of the backboard, but that happened.
It wasn't even the worst of it, though. It was a missed layup.
Yeah.
And Kawhi like, yeah, he definitely copped a lot.
Did you see the one and it was like the tough looking Clippers super team crew and they're like, oh, your squad and the guy they told you not to worry about, and it's like it's just chunky little Nikola Jokic as a
Eating something out. I was like, oh no.
Same with if you look up a photo of young Marc Gasol, same deal.
Oh, really?
It's just the chunky kid in the high school. It's a little bit bigger than everyone. So it's like you're just like, oh, whatever. And it's like, no, it turns out to be 7 foot and just elite.
These recon ones.
Good kill.
Yeah, I like the recon ones. I'm a big fan of the recon ones. I'm getting no sound from Shane all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, I think he's just quiet.
No, he's...
Is it
I
working?
can't hear him.
There you go. I can hear you now. I just couldn't hear you rip that back.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what was going on.
I just want to hear you rip the pack. Romeo,
Ooh.
Romeo. Where
Yeah.
art thou?
Look at that flux.
Siku.
Pity of who it is, but look at that
I
flux.
don't like these.
Where's our auto in this one?
Well, as I said,
Number 2.
the hits are few and far between, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we got a RJ's pretty cool. We did get that Boban auto. That was a hot take.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty great. Because, as I said, all you can imagine is Boban's massive hand signing it. And he's like, the pen is the size of like a power pole or something. Cam Johnson. No one wants that one. Oh, I think he's got it anyway. Sharky.
I think he was getting rid of all his Cam Johnson, to be honest.
Oh, he's dumping because the sky's falling.
Yeah, because the sky's falling? No, because he's buying a PS5.
Yeah. Aaron Davis.
Look into the business end. There's only 2 packs left of this one. I thought we started strong. I thought this was going to be a lot better than the first one, but it sort of fizzled out.
Oh, try.
Well, this was the point I was going to make.
There we
Is
go.
like,
Hey.
there we go.
Now, and an AD. This is where they're all hiding.
Yeah, come on, boys. Jackie.
Like, mine was fine, but it wasn't lit, you know? Like, it just...
Yeah, go.
It just felt like fine.
Trey's pretty cool.
Nice.
That is a nice one.
I'll try to find in a second. I'll pop over and find from my desk the ones from the other pack.
The one that you already opened that was so much better.
Yeah, that had all the good stuff in it.
Typical.
Is that the first threads you've hit? It is, isn't it?
Nah, we got a jar threads.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think that was the only other one though.
Anthony's cannons.
Cam Reddish. Right,
Wow.
find these other ones.
Yeah. To be fair, like when I opened mine, the auto was Boban, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Boban. So you said about Sharky getting a PS5. What do you reckon about the console war, Chesh?
Ah, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Someone said it's going to be the death of game stores today.
it's always the death of something. People are just morbidly fascinated
Time
with.
for you to do another Skies Falling video.
No, we don't do Skies Falling about gaming. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, because
I don't want to invite Reddit into my life.
There was a Hero Threads thing. AD, that same one. So we've got that in every box so far. That's Zion.
They just put him in the cereal box.
Luca, another Luca, and that was the.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice and cool. Then another pink Giannis. Another Hero, and then the jar one. That's what I thought. And Panini as well. So that was definitely the better box, I think. That one, there's some nice cards. But I think, like you said, like, even the fact that there's just such a variety. Like, I mean, I love looking at, and especially someone that sort of is pretty active in both football and basketball. You know, I love seeing a lot of these crossover sets that I hadn't really experienced in basketball, and then now I love in football. And then you get to see the sort of rookies. And it's even the same, you know, a lot of the sets are crossing over anyway. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing now. I know Panini are releasing black for basketball this year, which it has been a football. It's sort of a middle-end product. It's sort of almost a little bit like a poor man's noir. But it's the same way, like you were saying with the opulence earlier on, like where, you know, you sort of said they come out dinged up because of these thick black-bordered cards. It's really easy to see a lot of the imperfections on the card, and a lot of the corners are already a bit dinged. So it's a bit of a hard product. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes for basketball. They're definitely nice, but
it'll be interesting to see the fucking price point.
Well, I think I can't remember where it was. Maybe that the price may already be up on Panini. Potentially, I can't remember. I know someone sent me a link today, and I didn't read it. I did sort of one of those typical ha ha ha, and hadn't actually read it. But I think it was a screenshot of the Panini direct price, so it might be if anyone wants to check out Panini's website, which is America. I'm pretty sure that they're coming soon, and they may already have the price on it for black. So it'll be interesting. I mean, it'll sell out obviously super quick. So the price that shows on that website is not really going to be indicative of anything, because chances are bots will buy it in about 3 seconds, and then you'll pay an extra couple $100 on the free market. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like some of the prices, like we were saying before, opulence, how much they're sort of charging for that, and just even the mid to low end stuff these days. It's getting harder and harder to open something to have a bit of fun with. I mean, even with a black box, it's a box like this is designed to give you, you know, $40 of value, not, you know, $150 or $250. So it's, you know, it's a
well, that's a problem that I have with. That's why Illusions is slipping down so fast.
Yeah.
Is that exact reason, right? Because like at the end of the day, the product itself was meant for the non-hobby side of it was meant for Walmart retail specifically. So I think I don't want to sound like a dick, but I'm gonna sound like a dick. I'm absolutely 100% all in favor of the flippers going and buying that particular product, buying it all out like they have been, and then getting absolutely shunted because they're no longer making their, you know, 700% they were making on that product because they went out and bought it all, and then everyone just went, oh, now I've seen a couple of videos of this shit being opened and it's horrible. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to stay away.
That's where it's finally getting to a point. I think the last, and it's a lot of obviously factors as far as COVID, you know, just the fact that people were stuck at home more, there was no sport. So instead of the casual sort of person was, you know, spending money on breaks and boxes and getting into cards because they couldn't bet on sports, There's so many different factors that sort of drove. I know when COVID first happened, I was like, oh my God, this is the end. I wish I sold everything I had before this happened. Now everything's worth nothing. And then,
Oh,
2 weeks
actually,
later, everything's worth 10 times more. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, this is insane. But, I guess in retrospect, you can sort of see what happened. But it sort of caused people to pay anything. And I think now we're getting to the stage where even with opulence, when it first came out, the prices that were advertised and being quoted were much higher than then when they did the Dutch auction, where the first off the line sold for, which is always a good, with the first off the line sales, when they do the Dutch auctions, I guess it's a good barometer to an extent of where where it bottoms out is obviously the market interest. So the fact that then distributors have had to, and retailers have had to drop their price on the boxes they were selling earlier to try to move them. And I guess you will probably slowly see, and the big giveaway for me is that if you have a look after any Dutch auction, usually a whole heap of those boxes will then sell for a couple of $100 more on eBay, because the idea is people have bought them, sold them for an extra few $100 and made their profit. The fact that none are even being listed or sold on there sort of says, well, what really happened? Like, I wouldn't be totally shocked if the distributors bought a lot of them out of the Dutch auction to almost make it look like there was demand there, just to sort of, move the product and hype the product, because it's a pretty crazy price point for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like the best way for a distributor to do it is to buy as much of it as they can to make it look scarce, and then, release it in waves. Which is, it's an old school business thing.
Yeah, it totally is. Like the way the distribution works, and a lot of people blame, your local card stores, and you always hear talk over here, even here in Facebook groups and stuff. People are always rubbing, Cherry price is this or Cherry that, and it's like, it's such a different business model to the guy in his bedroom not paying any sort of tax, not paying any sort of overheads like wages and
location,
bills, and then exactly,
physical storage,
Cherry, and then the fact that they also give 5 full-time workers wages, and it's just, you can't even compare that sort of stuff. But it's just sort of, it becomes really eye-opening the way that even they get charged and how much they have to pay to buy a lot of this product. I think people assume everything comes from Panini at $60 a box and they sell it for $700 a box, and they're just out in the back room with a money counting machine counting money. But it's really not even like that. And
that's Panini that has the money machine. I think that was one of the first.
Panini, though, it's the distribution.
Well, yeah, but I think one of the first rants I ever did was talking about how there were problems at the distribution level, but there was also problems with when Panini were talking about releasing product themselves, sure, the Dutch auction thing is fine, but that's something that we haven't seen any other companies really do, within the sports card market. I don't know about Topps and stuff, but I mean purely for gaming cards.
StockX and Topps did a couple of different collaborations with baseball sets. They did the Dutch auction before Panini, and it sort of worked well for them. But it's sort of, it's sort of hard. Like when Panini is selling a product and I want to defend them all I can. I try to defend them with, well, look, what's the alternative? They just sell it at really cheap and bots buy it out instantly, and then it gets sold for 3 times the price on eBay, or they sell it for a little bit more. At least they get some money. They can reinvest that back into making a better product for us as collectors. And I'd probably rather, if I'm going to get fisted by someone, I'd rather the guy that can reinvest that money back into the product we love fist me than the guy on eBay that's going to spend it on a Ferrari or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sort of, even then, it gets hard to defend them when they say, the suggested retail price for a certain product is $78, and then they sell it on their own website, like Chronicles Blasters. What did we pay over here for a Chronicles Blaster? It was $35 or $40 or something. 45 maybe.
At pre-order, 35.
Yeah. 35.
Yep.
They sold it on their website, the Panini Direct website, for I think it was $120 US. And this is supposed to be an Australian exclusive, that it's the one time of year that we can actually sell these boxes for a crazy price back to the Americans, rather than the Americans sell us stuff for a crazy price back. And then they released an amount of that over on the website.
But it wasn't just that. It was once the pre-allocation had gone, you couldn't fucking buy them anyway in Australia. And it's like, here's your Australian exclusive. Sorry, you can only get it on pre-order. Sorry, you missed out. Too bad. We're not actually supplying any. Like, we're supplying it ourselves now. Like, wait a second.
But I mean,
what?
that even comes down to, even with Chronicles, like these ones, these particular 3 blasters have spent a very aged journey. Like, I'd originally ordered a few more, and then I got an email when it came out from the guy that I bought them from saying, oh, look, sorry, my allocation had been cut. I didn't get as many as I thought I was going to get. I can still provide you with the 3 of them. I was like, hey, that's cool. Like, it is what it is. That's cool. At least I get to see it. And then they spent like 3 weeks in the post, but that wasn't his fault at all. But
thanks, COVID.
It's just even then, like, and it's got to the stage, and I think this is the big problem with the hobby at the moment. Everyone's so skeptical and everything. Like, as soon as I got off the phone to him, I was like, did his allocation get cut? Or did he put half his order into his back shed, pretend it got cut, knowing that he could sell it to me for $45 now, or he could sit it away for 6 months, forget about it, and then sell it on eBay sort of slowly out the back door for $150 or $200, and it's become such a grotty industry that you just sort of there's just so much doubt and everything. And I mean, whenever it gets to that stage, that's such a toxic environment sort of thing. So there's obviously a lot of issues, but it's so hard. It's an unregulated market with so much money. This sort of thing's going to happen, I guess.
Yeah, and there's not an easy fix, and that was one of the other things I was ranting about when somebody's question came up that was like, well, what do you think an easy fix for this? There is no easy fix. Like, hobby stuff, I'm going to say that hobby stuff should only be through hobby stores. It really should. And it's selling it through Panini, selling it through the website, or any card company selling it through their own website. It's a bit dodge, because it's basically like them telling the market what they want to sell it for, right? I get it. Whatever. But putting stuff in retail, as we've seen right now, still does not work. It does not solve the problem, because you still have the flippers who are going and sitting around and waiting for that restock to happen every week.
You see the screenshots and stuff on Facebook in the US, like literally, it's like when you see, out the front of sneaker stores, when there's a sneaker drop, you see people in the camp chairs all the way down the road camping out.
Yeah.
In the US, it's literally become that.
Yep.
It's so bad. Like, it's actually.
So the thing here with Australia, and this is for our international audience, a lot of our big chain stores here do not buy into basketball at all, for 2 reasons. Number one, because they don't know if the product is going to actually be bought and succeed, because they've tried it in the past, which was after the big bust of basketball, basically, and gotten burnt on it.
Shelves.
Yeah. The second problem is, if they put it up on shelves like you do in the US, you have people like ripping it open and stealing shit. Like, and I'm sure it's the same in the US, but I don't hear it as much in the US as I do for, say, Pokemon here in Australia. I can tell you right now, my local Coles was selling Pokemon packs out of their allotment from Banter, and we're talking, I think it was 150 blisters, because I actually went and had a chat to Coles about this, my local Coles. Out of 150 blisters, you would be surprised at how many they actually sold at point of sale. Guess how many?
As opposed to stolen.
Now remember, there's 150 blisters that they ordered and were put on the shelves over a 2-week period. They sold 30 blisters out of 150.
Wow.
To theft, they lost 120 blisters. 2 reasons. Yeah. Number one, inadequate shop space. Tucked away in the corner of the frozen food section, right? Even though there's cameras up there, it's a huge blind spot. It's a huge blind spot. Number 2, they didn't want to put them where the smokes counter is, where they'd be, have somebody always there to look at them, for 2 reasons.
Love a Pokemon with a Durry. What a great Friday night.
That's exactly why. They didn't want complaints.
Long Beach and...
No, that's exactly why. They didn't want complaints from parents.
Just so you can get a 6-pack or a bottle of wine, a packet of Pokemon, and a pack of mini.
Well, look, because of our plain, it shouldn't be a problem because of our plain packaging, right? So, number 1, they would still be protected and you'd be able to lock them up, right? You'd still be able to advertise them because we have plain packaging. You can't advertise cigarettes, right? Kids wouldn't see the cigarette packets, shouldn't matter. But they are afraid that parents would complain, and that's why they put them up on hanger shelves. And that is
It's gonna seem
stupid.
It's gonna seem like the clandestine, antisocial activity that kind of is sometimes.
Well, like, the way that I was thinking is like just absolutely put them at the service desk where you buy your smokes and put a sign up that that's where the Pokemon is, and they'll be protected. And instead they decided to opt with what they consider to be the smarter choice, and look, in their defense it kind of is, which is to pull it all together.
I'd also think like they'd be like, oh, but maybe it's just misgauging the how much they're going to sell based on being exposed to people. Like ideally, I think they'd like to put them with the chocolate bars and stuff like that, so you get the kids going, "I want one of these." But
yeah, you can't do that though, because then parents complain, like en masse.
And I mean, so I was going to say, I knew you were going to say something like that. That it's like this is the one product that. They don't have problems with muesli bars or like all these other lines they carry, and like it's just they look at Pokemon cards, they go, oh crap, not again, and it's fraught with danger. So first of all, there's a stealing, and then you got the other aspect that I mean, my mate works at my local game store we play Magic at, and he's had parents come in, bought a pack of Pokemon cards from, like, this is how moronic people can be in general. Bought a pack of Pokemon cards from another store, and then come and goes, my kid didn't get the cards they wanted.
Yep.
I didn't realize that worked. I'm going to try that.
It's like, and he's like, what
if I come back in, I'm sorry, I didn't get the Zion auto that I hoped for when purchasing this box.
It's like you're an adult. Like, god damn.
Like, look, things that I don't miss about things I don't miss about working in retail.
You're dealing with
idiots.
People.
Exactly. They're everywhere.
Anyway, far out.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it's a squeaky wheel thing, and maybe try that crap until that works somewhere, or like they bully someone enough to like get anything. Like, just I hate that. I hate
no,
that.
That's exactly what it is, and the parent knows it. Like, if they play like, dumb and
if
just
you
got
no conscience, yeah, exactly. You got no conscience. You got nothing. It's just like whatever, cool. It's like I'm gonna do this until it works.
And some of these parents don't. They don't give a shit about the business.
No.
They're just trying to get like a little bit extra. And if they can go back to a game store and say, "Oh, I bought this here, and I think that this pack was not what it was advertised to be. I want another pack."
Get into drugs.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, sure. Here, have a pack of smack.
Yeah.
Wade says he's keen on the Zions as well if you're selling the Zions and the LeBrons.
Oh, look, man, just
not my product, so
just hit me up. Like, if anyone wants them, they can have them. I don't want to sell them. Like, if there's anyone particular that they're after, just shoot me a message. But I'm happy to take some postage costs and then just send it out.
There you go. Hit up good old Shano. I know I'm going to be hitting him up for Carsons.
I don't even get rich off Chronicles.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Postage from where I live probably cost about $85. So
you'll get there in 2022.
It'll get there sometime.
No.
Yeah, no, these solutions. I'm in two minds because, like, so I feel like well, $86 technically speaking, but I won the competition, so whatever. But
the glory is free.
Yeah, exactly. But on one hand, I'm excited to open the product. I am, because I love busting product. On the other hand, I've watched so many videos where it just looks like hose after hose after hose, no autos, and it's just it's kind of scary and daunting because I'm like, like it's too late in the game to try and flip them off, so I'm just gonna have to open them anyway and just hope for something good. But I just hope it makes for some good content and not us just bitching and moaning the whole time. Lucky for me, Blakey threw in a little bit extra and actually threw me in a Chronicles flat pack, pretty much to just, I'm going to guess, to like soften the blow because Solutions is so bad.
You are talking about being negative. Maybe he's just being nice.
Look, he's definitely being nice. He's just thrown it in there because he loves us. Go away, plane. But like, I have a feeling that I'm gonna open something that I'm gonna go, oh, actually that was pretty spicy and cool.
Yeah, I've got that feeling too, but I mean that's based on absolutely zero. But
Well,
anyway,
but I also have the feeling it's going to be something that looks spicy and cool, and is worth like $10.
yeah,
and look, if I open an orange Carson to replace the Carson I lost in the last round, I'll be happy. I mean, at the end of the day, if I open up some Carsons, I'll probably just be like, you know what, that's fine. Some Carsons and some Kawhi. You know, they're my two main horns. And if I open either of those, I'm probably still going to be, you know, pretty happy with it.
So where's Kawhi going?
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
I seen today that apparently it's sort of. I had a conversation with Ben that I do the podcast with just about. He'd sort of straight away he'd message me literally the day after some sort of article, and it was just to do with a press conference, but it was some sort of beat writer that, like, I explained to him, probably ironically works in a car dealership during the day and then at night time moonlights as an NBA beat writer and as an expert. But he was talking about
there's a wrestling guy like that.
He's so toxic and he's this and everything, and you know, he says to me, he goes, "Oh, looks like all the Clippers players are pointing at PG." And I said, "How do you gather?" His article talks about the fact that someone lip-read an argument between Montrez and PG after a turnover. I'm like, this happened every game. I don't think this indicates the start of the end for the Clippers. Like, I'm like, it was a pretty unique season here. You know, the way that the season sort of, obviously with the bubble and the way it played out. And I know that it was an even setting, and I think, you know, it's not like it favoured younger teams, but I think the lack of crowds obviously really helped younger teams probably not be as nervous as potentially.
Yeah, I don't think many people are talking about that factor actually, which is.
I think it's a huge thing, and even with the older veterans as well, you start to think a lot of them have got families and stuff as well. So I mean, for a younger guy, he's not playing in front of big crowds, so he's not getting freaked out by the crowds. He's not really as worried about being away from his family as much. The bubble's probably and it's much like isolation for anyone. Some people. You talk to them about it, they're like, I have loved it. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I find I've
been in tracksuit pants for 6 months now. Like, you know, I can't go back to real life. I'm going to hate it. But, you know.
I found it's the hard, it's the more you think about it, the harder it is type thing. And it's like, it's just when bliss and you know, you go, oh, sweet, this is great because I don't really have much gravity towards it. And there's definitely been those patches. The more I try and fight against it, it gets harder kind of thing and work on whatever. But yeah, and I imagine the same kind of thing. That when you have a bit more experience, more at stake, then the gravity kind of sets in a bit more, like you say, the family thing as well. So yeah, for sure.
Right. And it's not that I think it's going to be a year where the ring has an asterisk. It's 100%. You know, everyone was on an even footing. Whoever wins it deserved it. Like, it's not like it was sort of, you know, I have an extremely biased term. Like, oh, we'll screw it out of it. This isn't a real championship. Who cares? Next year. Next year. But I think there's a lot of factors that, you know, to me, could have gone better. I mean, the fact that Clippers had so many different starting lineups, even from the bubble, you know, Shamet didn't play in the restart, Harold didn't play in the restart, Lou Williams has spent time out. There's a lot of reasons why we probably shouldn't have even been to that stage. I mean, there's probably a lot of chance that Dallas should have knocked that Clippers team out in the first bit. And, you know, there's only so much that just raw depth and talent can cover team chemistry. And I think that was the thing that, you know, just things hadn't really gelled. I don't think everyone naturally looks for someone to blame. And I think that's what happened. But, you know, the same thing sort of happened straight away. Even today, I've seen articles posted about there was yelling coming out of the Celtics change rooms, and you know, Marcus Smart was heard of it. I'm like, it's game 2.
I was just about to bring that up.
Like, everything's a story, seriously.
Who in the Celtics? Who in the Celtics do I need to complain to about how shit they've been playing?
I wouldn't do it as Marcus Smart because I'm pretty sure in college he belted someone for doing that.
He fucking would. Anyway, come on.
He was balling. So
yeah.
I didn't check the
No,
top
see-
score today, but
So the funny thing that I've got going at the moment is like, yeah, my team lost again today. Makes me a bit sad, but you know what?
They were close games though.
It's extremely close games, and they're not knocked out yet. So can everyone just stop bitching about the fucking Celtics? Like, bitch once they've fully lost.
I've actually got some nights, so we haven't got a terrible screen. Put them on the desk. I'm trying to find it.
Nuggets were 3-1.
Here's a nice Celtics one for you.
Yeah.
Did you get
Oh,
involved in
dude,
these
yeah,
guys?
the Tyson Beck, yeah.
Yeah,
So, you
but
know this
that's
guy's
what
from
the
Adelaide, by the way?
yeah
The
we've been
artist?
trying to get him on the podcast for a fair while. I've talked to him a fair bit.
That'd be
I
sick.
got this one as well. That one's the
Oh,
So,
nice.
one.
yeah,
That was
because Shano, your discussion on the podcast about the involvement of independent kind of card entities, I guess, was super awesome about what that means in the future type thing. And then, you know, someone
It's
like
an
Leaf,
interesting
where do they
thing with
sit?
player, like especially when you hear, and it's one of those sort of wanky terms that you sort of almost cringe when you hear the player empowerment term.
Yeah.
But it is getting more and more that way. Like, and you know, players, and it's being led by people like LeBron. But you know, even the fact LeBron's documentary about his kids' high school team is completely controlled by LeBron's media team, where they're not even allowed to do interviews with ESPN people because he's controlling that narrative. And that's like, that's the bubble version of like what's happening. And all these players are starting to have more involvement around things. And I think it's a good thing because players, I don't think, and especially when it comes to trading cards, I really don't think that players understand the potential sort of marketing tool that trading cards are for their own personal brand.
Unless you're Michael Jordan.
A lot of players don't sign redemptions, and they don't care about the city. You have a look at LeBron, you have a look at Jordan, you have a look at Kobe. Do you ever see a sloppy, crappy auto?
No.
Absolutely not, because every time they sign something, that's their brand. They knew that was a chance, and it was a sort of marketing thing. It's like in the same way a company doesn't just put out a half-assed ad and just go, that'll do, put it out. They made sure it was perfect every time. And I think a lot of players don't do that now, but I think they should start to think that this is a pretty powerful sort of marketing opportunity.
Well, there was a quite a famous story from Jordan originally, where initially he was being courted by, I think it was Converse. To like the original Air Jordans could have been Converse, but instead like Converse were being like complete pricks about it. And he just went, I don't want to, I don't want to deal with you guys because, like my brand actually means something. And they were like, but you're a basketball player, like just shut up and sign the thing. And he was like, no, that's not how this works. I'm a businessman who happens to be very good at basketball, and I am not going to be signing this contract. Good day. It's just like he was sort of the leader in that. Like, okay, so two things. The first one is I really do think that Jordan cornered the market on what it is to be not just a super superstar at basketball, but also a very business savvy entrepreneur. Like, it wasn't just like 100%. Yeah, I want to win in basketball. It was I want to win in life, and he really, really directed that. In saying that, on the other side, you also have Dennis Rodman, right? Like, social media didn't even exist until Dennis Rodman hit the scene. Let's be honest. Did
you see Rodman's 30 for 30 documentary?
No, I've been trying to track that down, and that's apparently
it is amazing. Like, it's actually, I don't want to even ruin it because there's so many things. Like, I would consider one of my sort of mini PCs is 89 90s Pistons. So I've got a few Rodman autos and different cards, and sort of I consider myself somewhat thought I understood Rodman. I knew the Rodman story, but there was so many bits in it that were like extremely tragic, and it was just like, wow, this is sort of
where basically everyone was his dad until he hit the Bulls. Like,
just how brutal the media can be.
Everyone was so
just like.
Look, at one stage, he was in his car, and the media even covered it. They found him in the morning sitting in his car with a gun where he considered killing himself. And it was just, to be in that, and you think about these basketballs, and you think, his life must be pretty decent. But just to think about sort of some of the stuff, everyone obviously goes through mental health issues, and
but I don't, and that wasn't even a word back then. That was, and
that's the thing. That's the problem, mate. Like, there was just no. But even from a young age, just his. Like, he'd sort of grown up, he was taken in by this white family that then there'd been some issues, and then he'd sort of got, verbally abused and had a fight with them, and sort of felt like these are the only people that ever understood him. They took him in, and he was living with them, because he'd befriended their younger son, and then there was sort of, stories, and like his just whole life has actually been pretty tragic but interesting. He didn't go straight into college. He sort of finished high school, left high school, and then was actually working as a janitor, and then went homeless for a little while, and then got put into college when he got found playing basketball in a court. And like, there's just a lot of stuff that was mind blowing. You're like, the fact that he achieved what he did is actually still pretty mind blowing. So,
yeah, and I think too, like it's that you look at players these days and they're like, oh no, you've got to really maximize that time when you're 16 years old and 18 years old and stuff. And he just like, no, he's just like, whatever, I just play basketball or just surviving, even that kind of thing. It's absolutely wild. But one of the best things I've ever seen is and I'll recommend this book. It's the Free Darko Basketball Almanac. It's just the most amazing like graphical piece of it's like graphic design and basketball, but got the most amazing infographics. But there's like the height versus rebounds average over the years, and everything's a massive scatter graph except for two massive way off dots. And it's Charles Barkley and Dennis Rodman, and they're just like they're off the chart. They're just absolute. It was just an anomaly there.
Yeah, there's this big thing about and it might have been covered in The Last Dance, but I know I've seen it in a couple of different documentaries where Robin talks about his time with the Pistos, and about how he couldn't be him. He just had to be like this brawling hard ass, and like on the court, he was basically a missile, and they would just like basically aim at this guy and like fire. And it wasn't until he came into the Bulls that he felt like, that's when the hair thing started, and he was like, I'm just going to wear what I want, and I'm going to do.
And all this Jordan talk has definitely got me. I'm going to show you. It's my favorite ISO pickup. I've been in isolation.
But yeah, Chesh, I would say I see the thing I see in Dennis Rodman is creativity, and that's I think was not really emphasized enough.
Whoop. Frames being dropped.
It's probably kicking us off.
So, but okay, so there's this frames being dropped.
Frames drop. Why is it dropped? There we go. We're back.
Why is it dropping, and why is it doing that?
Excited off this and dropped off this one.
So there's this.
Oh
my!
Got the Upper Deck certified as well.
Yeah, and it's even proper jersey too. Like
people
ask comp on them because that's
frames being dropped.
It's yeah, that's my favorite pickup. That's why I don't want to go back to real life. I've had a really good isolation, so I'm like, all right.
I want that isolation life.
Yeah, all the Jordan talk. Like, show that up.
That's great.
I'm waiting to get the frames. I don't get it out very often, so yeah.
The frame has to be the objective, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hot.
Oh, good stuff. Chesh, anything you want to wrap up with, or?
Apparently, frames being dropped is what we're wrapping up with.
Yeah, exactly. I could chat for ages.
Yeah, I think it's tea time for me.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, great, excellent. All right. So Wade said he'll DM you. But the stuff. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Shane. Well, let's start with Sam. Actually, Sam, where can we catch you?
You can find me at Past the Jam Sam on the Instagram. And yeah, pretty much it.
Sweet. Looks like my internet is starting again. Shane, where can we catch you and all of your brilliant stuff?
Talking Cardboard on Instagram, Shaq90s on Instagram, or Monday Night Football or MNF_breaks.
Shaq90s.
For my podcast feed. Or, there we go. I was going to say, or frames dropping, but it's
Now I just want to make an account that's just called Frames Dropped. Do a new gaming podcast called Frames Drop. And obviously you can catch me on Insta, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch under Chesh Breaks, where sometimes we crack open retro boxes when we can, other times we do mail time rants, sometimes we just complain about the bunch of absolute morons who can't be bothered to send cards correctly.
Or people still in Pokemon.
Frames dropped. Cool. All right, well,
fun, dude.
Thanks for everyone for hanging out, and thanks, Shane, for coming on.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Despite your camera keeps dropping frames, which is really weird. There we go. I'm just gonna turn that off, and that's fine. And we'll catch you soon. We'll catch everyone soon, and hopefully we'll have Shane on again in, I don't know, like a week or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Have a good weekend.